So are a lot of companies starting to reshore, and does that make sense? Let's turn to this week's board of directors. Hal Sirkin is senior partner and managing director at the Boston Consulting Group and an expert in competing globally. Les McKeown is the president and CEO of the company Predictable Success and also author of the new book, The Synergist, How to Lead Your Team to Predictable Success. And marketing guru Jeffrey Hazlett is the head of the Hazlett Group, a business consulting company, and he is author of the new book, Running the Gauntlet. It's essential business lessons to lead, drive change, and grow profits. Great to see all of you.
It's good to be here.
Great to be with you. Hal, do you find a lot of companies reshoring? Do you find that you are giving that advice to a lot of companies you work with?
Well, the world has changed pretty rapidly. Wages have risen in China by 20 to 30% a year for a while, and companies are beginning to realize that the advantages of going to China, particularly on products that don't have a large labor content, are going down. So we're starting to see just the beginnings of a wave of companies who are beginning to reshore to the U.S. We don't think this will start in a major way until around 2015, but we're surprised by how many have begun now. Companies like Farouk Systems that make hair dryers, or Sleek Audio that make audio equipment, or Coleman that makes coolers, are now bringing their products back to the United States. And that is a rapid change.
Why bring them to the U.S. instead of another low-wage country?
Well, there's several factors that are involved. First is the quality of the products that can be produced in the U.S. They are very high. And most importantly, though, is the transportation costs. That if you go to another country, you won't have the same kind of productivity as China gives you or as the U.S. gives you. And the transportation costs are quite high for a lot of these products. So bringing them back to the U.S. makes it very economic.
You know what else I was thinking about? They said, and we talked about in the piece, how now there's a 2-week turnaround versus, I forget what it was, 6 weeks. And with fads coming and going so quickly, and the internet, and you're able to see something and like it, it seems like that's really important.
Absolutely. I mean, if it takes 2 or 3 weeks just to ship it across the ocean, you got to think about that. You might miss it, that window that you need to have. So a lot of companies, especially the bigger companies, are looking at right sourcing the products in the region. So if you're in the region, so if you're in North America, you have some ability to ship it around North America. If you're in Europe, build your products there and ship them around Europe, or vice versa in other parts of the world. Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, we just did another piece a couple of weeks ago, too, on a factory. They used to produce stuff overseas. Now they produce it here. And as she was saying, personally, frankly, it's a lot easier because she's not traveling back and forth anymore.
Sure, and I think there's also an imperative to want to do something just to help the local economy as well. So I think people's minds are shifting, at least to be open to the possibility. But, you know, somebody once said the plural of anecdote is not data, and I'm not 100% convinced that just yet we're seeing anything more than 1 or 2 great stories like this. I mean, for them, for the candle company, it's obviously the right thing to do. My concern would be that just by giving something a name like resourcing, that doesn't mean to say that we've got a trend here yet. I think the jury's still out.
Is this something that people need to start thinking about doing now then? I mean, a lot of small businesses don't have their own factories, but at least moving their manufacturing here to the U.S. at another factory? Hal?
Yeah, I believe they have to start doing this right now because it takes a while to build a factory. This is one place where small businesses have an advantage. Because they are small, they can move a lot quicker than a lot of the major businesses that have lots of processes and other things to get things done. Putting up a relatively small plant, hiring a few workers is something that small businesses can do very quickly.
All right. Well, Hal Sirkin, thank you so much for your expertise. We really appreciate you coming on the program. You guys, thank you, but you stick around. Wouldn't it be great if you could go from a day at the office to a nighttime event without ever changing your shoes? Today's elevator pitcher hopes to pump up our panel about her new product.
Hi, I'm Candace Cave, the founder of Day to Night Convertible Heels, which are patent pending. So there's over 50 million women in America that wear high heel shoes every day that absolutely kill their feet while they're walking into work in the morning, going out at night, and they usually have to carry extra shoes with them in their bag everywhere they go, which is a pain. So with Day to Night Convertible Heels, you simply press a button and the heel comes all the way off, and there's 5 different heel heights. You can pick and choose whichever height you want to place on. and they're fashionable and comfortable. Women absolutely love our shoes. So we've already proven the market by pre-selling over 500 pairs on our website, convertibleheels.com, and we're now ready to ramp up production and just need some investment money. Day to Night Convertible Heels is looking for $250,000 for a 25% equity, which will provide a 10x return within 5 years. The money will go towards sales, marketing, and inventory, and we have fantastic margins on our product, a 75% blended gross margin, not only on our shoes, but also our replacement heels.
Candace, nice job. You know, I think this is so interesting because this happens a lot when you are pitching a female product to males, because so many investors are males, and so you might not get the product, but do you think the business is good enough to take another meeting? So how'd she do in the pitch?
I think you did a great job. You got my attention, you know, and I think that's a real important thing. The key thing is I'm going to go and find out my own research on the thing. So the first person I'm going to ask is my wife and my daughter, who do buy all the shoes. And of course, I do buy a lot of them, but you know, and
at least your credit card does.
Exactly right. But I want to know some other things. You know, will they really wear it? So I want to see pictures or hear things from other people that this is really something they want to get, because I know it doesn't have to be comfortable, doesn't even have to be functional, it just has to be good looking.
Exactly.
All right, I'm just going to let Les chime in. Do you think, how did the pitch do? How'd she do in the pitch?
I think the pitch is great. I get it. I get the product immediately. My concern is I think it suffers from the OMG illusion, which is that everybody you're going to show this to is going to say, oh my God. And that doesn't mean that this is a good business. This is a good product. I'm not 100% convinced it's a good business. What I'd like to see you do is think about licensing this, making sure you tie up the intellectual property, and surf the infomercials for 2 or 3 nights, and maybe find 1 or 2 other people who have got an infrastructure already behind them who want more product to put in their existing marketing, rather than going into very, very expensive marketing for just one product.
Right. We're talking with 3 of the top producers for women's high heel shoes who are very interested in partnering or doing a potential licensing deal with
That's the stuff you got to get in the pitch, because I want to hear about distribution and scale. Because if I'm going to give you $250,000, which hey, I might do, and I want to see the 10% or 10 times earnings on that, I want it even faster. But I really want to know that by you've got the key contacts, or you've met them, or they're somewhat interested in the product.
All right. Well, congratulations with the product and selling so many already, and your contacts. Good luck with everything as I teeter on my high heels right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you guys for all of your advice here. And if any of you have a product or a service and you want feedback from our elevator pitch panel on your chances of getting interested investors, send us an email. The address is yourbusiness@msnbc.com. Please include a short summary of what your company does, how much money you're trying to raise, and what you intend to do with the money. And you never know, somebody out there watching the show may be interested in helping you. It's time now to answer some of your business questions. Les and Jeff are with us once again. The first one is an email from Joseph. He asks, when hiring and providing incentives for employees, how can we achieve brand buy-in of our team members in our own company? The competitive nature of our industry and current economy prevents above average salaries and profit sharing. That can lead to short-term decisions not conducive to long-term client retention. You got that?
The first thing I would advise Joseph to do if he wants to get, employee engagement is to speak plain English. You've got to be somebody that people want to work with, and this sounds like it's straight out of some MBA textbook. So first of all, talk English. The second thing is, it's not at all difficult to overpay people as long as you find a metric that gives you a return on investment. So when I had the Pizza Hut restaurant, we had 700% turnover of busboys, but we found 2 metrics that allowed us to pay them more. If they could clean and turn the tables faster, that would give us more money. And if they could upsell people to desserts or something else and increase the check value, we could pay them more. So we were able to pay them 150% of what the market rate was, which kept them longer. But we got twice as much from them in terms of average check value. So find a metric that justifies paying them more.
In the interview process, be honest about what your company does and sort of the warts around your company or around this job, so people know what they're getting into.
And be transparent. Communicate as one of the key things with the employees. Tell them exactly what's on the line for you and what's on for them. Show them if they do this and you get to this level, then you can provide those kinds of benefits or incentives if it's important. A lot of times you find employees aren't really motivated by the money. They're motivated by feeling really good about what they're doing and providing a great income for their family. So, it really is about being more transparent to your employees.
Okay, moving on to the next one. It is a question from Larry, who wrote, I have a sales script pitch writing business with clients all over the world. Is there a way I can find an agent like Performance Hab who can book sales script writing work and then take care of the business end of things so I can do what I like best, writing scripts? How does he find someone like this?
The interwebs are a good place to start. I've never heard of someone with that skill set, but my thought is that a really good intern or entry-level employee should be able to do this work pretty readily. I mean, the information is all transparently available. It's not like the old days of publishing when you needed an agent to unlock the secret doors. I would get a really bright intern and let them work for 2 or 3 months on it.
But he's the owner of the company. Don't forget, you've got to drive sales. In the end, you're the one that's responsible for your success of your company. And I'm a little worried when I hear someone say, well, I just want to do this piece. I don't want to do the other stuff. Trust me, no matter who you are, where you are, you're always got to be selling your business, especially when you're the owner. But a great way to go out and look is through social media. As you said, get out there and link in with others. Use LinkedIn, use Twitter, use Facebook, and start finding those people. And pretty soon you'll build up a great network of people. And it's really about networking.
And I think if you can be pretty specific about what you're looking for and send it out to all of your friends, contacts, etc., you'll find someone, because this is something you're not going to find someone in this industry because the industry doesn't really exist in that way, but you may find someone with those skills.
And it's going to take time. So you got to be ready for that.
Right. Okay. Well, great. Thank you guys so much for all this advice. Very, very helpful. And if any of you out there